I met somebody.
It looks like the Paynes are...
Well, folks, in the new extended version of the House of Payne November 12th trailer, we finally have context for that get-together at CJ and Janine's house where we see the ladies, Ella, Janine, Jasmine, and Miranda sitting at the kitchen table, pink tablecloth, pink flowers and all. Speculation was all over the place. Is it, the women planning, like, I don't know, a party for Laura, kind of a, hey, welcome to the family, or, even the theory some fans had about is Jasmine pregnant. But no, it is a situation where, well, to be completely honest, I still don't have the full context. None of us do. But in the extended cut of the trailer, Miranda actually gets dialogue. And she says something that has the other ladies going crazy. I met somebody. And it's like, oh, snap. Now, here's what I hope. If Miranda has met someone, I hope it isn't just a one episode thing. Because I remember a few seasons ago, she met someone who I believe was either a current or former football player. And I remember there was a date that occurred with CJ and at Calvin's parents' house, which to me, not really sure why that happened. Well, actually, if I remember correctly, the date didn't happen at the house. Wait, did it? I know Curtis was for it because that player was one of his favorites and he wanted him to sign a bunch of stuff for him. But either way, Calvin was in his feelings about it. I mean, didn't really help that his own parents were clowning him in front of his ex-wife's dates, but whatever. So I hope this isn't a one-off thing, because in the very next episode, when they brought up, hey, Miranda, I thought you were seeing so-and-so. Oh, it didn't work out, because I think it was back to her getting help with a dating profile or something. So essentially, she had a man, but it was a one-and-done situation. Now, when it comes to this new person, who we still don't know who it is, because we just heard about it briefly in this trailer. My question is this a person who might low-key be responsible for Calvin and Laura's wedding not happening? Here's what I mean by that. Now, we know that in a former episode, I believe it's the one where Calvin was handing out invitations to the wedding and Miranda went out to a club with Jasmine, and you could tell she was really just doing this in an attempt to get under Calvin's skin because she got in her feelings about the wedding. And then by the end of the episode, they had to sit down and it's like, yeah, I'll come to the wedding, Calvin. So if the wedding invite was a +1, do you think it's possible that Miranda invites this new guy, and as Calvin and Laura are, going through the ceremony, Calvin, I don't know, his eyes just constantly go over to where Miranda is, and as a result, either he says, I object, or maybe Laura notices, like, hey, your eyes are supposed to be on me. Why do you keep going back to Miranda and, this new guy? Either they're getting a bit too cozy, or maybe Miranda is caught up in the moment. So it's just one of those things where I truly feel like we could see a situation where Calvin's jealousy gets the better of him, or maybe he just realizes that this isn't what he wants. And it's not really fair to either Laura or this guy that Miranda's seeing. So I'm thinking that this new guy might pop up an episode or two after this episode with the girls, or it could be the same episode. But regardless, I think that give Miranda a love interest to spice things up. However, my question is, since Laura is in the next season, which has already been filmed, by the way, is it possible Miranda could have a long-standing relationship? Because need I remind you, Calvin has said to CJ, and Junior overheard, he loves Laura, they're about to get married, and he still loves Miranda too. So if Miranda pops up with this new guy, I truly feel like Calvin is going to act out like he usually does. And then that's going to make him, Laura question several things, and she'll probably pack up and leave for like the umpteenth time. But Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Miranda meeting someone? Are you just like, ah, thank goodness she finally has a man of her own? Or, ugh, all they're doing is dragging this out even more. We just want Calvin and Miranda together to get rid of Laura. But I think it would be pretty funny if this guy that Miranda met is somehow connected to Laura, either being her ex or a friend or something like that, because it would be an interesting way of, making a callback to when Laura found out that, wait a minute, Miranda is my coworker and friend, and I'm actually unknowingly dating her ex-husband, and that makes things complicated. So I'd love if the same thing happened here. Not to mention at this point in time, and listen, it's all over the place in terms of what kind of terms Miranda and Laura are on, either good or bad terms. The last time I checked, they were on good terms. It's just that I think one of, if not the last episodes before we went on hiatus, was when Laura's dad came for a surprise visit, and Laura was breaking down just because she was overwhelmed by so much going on, like, taking care of Junior and whatnot, and then the drama of Calvin's family and him not protecting her or taking care of her. It really didn't have anything to do with Miranda. It was more like the Paynes in general. So I'm wondering if this somebody is someone that Miranda knows. I mean, Laura knew or knows or dated. And you also got to remember this is important because you really got to remember this stuff. Laura told Calvin, you were a side piece before you became my main dish, indicating that when Calvin and Laura first started dating, Laura was already in a relationship, but then eventually decided, I'm going to cut things off with this guy and then level up with Calvin because he probably has more resources and whatnot. So I would love it if it turned out that Miranda's new man, supposedly, is Laura's ex. And that would lead to such an interesting amount of drama at the wedding, where you have Miranda and her new guy's exes about to get hitched, and then they're at the altar feeling some kind of way about their exes getting cozy. But the main difference being that, Laura wasn't Calvin's side piece when he was still married to Miranda, and Miranda wasn't this guy's side piece because he's no longer with Laura when they met. But that's really all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, we know that Ella, Jasmine, and Janine are cheering for Miranda, but do you think any of them will have a heart-to-heart about her? A heart-to-heart to her about this situation? Like, will Ella say, well, baby, is he good to you? How does he feel about you having a child? Because we know Ella is a cheerleader for her son and Miranda getting back together, so only time will tell. But like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.